Huzzah!
Huzzah, that's like Renaissance fair.
Huzzah! Would you turkey leg it? I didn't turkey leg it.
Oh, I always turkey
You
leg
always
it.
turkey? I miss
Do you turkey leg it?
Mm-mm.
Hey guys, welcome to Table Talk. I'm Trisha Hirschberg.
I'm Meg Turney.
I'm Lee Newton. We were referencing Renaissance fair meat.
Renaissance
any
fair,
meat.
which is not something that someone put in the bowl via hashtag Table Talk or subreddit r/SourceFed, but you could.
Yeah.
Good.
Favorite Renaissance meat.
All right, at jcoffee64 says, if you were a transformer, what would you transform into? Car, jet, animal, etc.?
Oh.
I mean, I know myself, and it'd probably be a couch.
Oh.
You know, I mean, like,
Transform into a
think of,
couch.
I'm lazy. I'm not going anywhere.
Did you always want to be Cherry from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Oh, Jenny! I miss Pee-wee's Playhouse. It was a little creepy and perverse, but no more than anything else is nowadays,
True.
right?
Very true.
Well, when you go back and look at half the stuff that we watched, just
I
gets
know.
real
So
creepy.
Rocco's
Such a
Modern Life.
mind.
is super
Rocco's Modern Life.
creepy.
David the Gnome is the creepiest of
Oh,
all
yeah.
the creepy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that show.
I did too.
But it was creepy.
He like gets naked to ride on animals, and it's weird.
The one that
Swift.
still holds up is
That was his
Fraggle
spot.
Rocks.
Yeah.
Hard.
But they still make Fraggle Rock. They make it now.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
Fraggle Rock.
What?
That was my
It's on
phone
Nerdist.
ringtone like all last year.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, man, remember
thinking I'm
Eureka's
singing.
Castle?
That
That was a great... Oh, well, we're
Eureka's
going
Castle?
Sorry, go
That was
ahead.
a great...
Eureka's Castle was
I
good.
didn't ever see it.
No,
Oh,
Eureka's
what?
Castle
With
was really
Batley?
good.
Oh, my God.
I
Yeah.
And Magellan, the dragon.
Yeah, Magellan.
Oh, wait.
You know
Yeah,
the show.
I think it was
it's
younger.
puppets.
No, it was younger than I, because I remember I'd catch on to it. But they had like a weird, like kind of blown out background, right? And it was just like, no.
It was like painted. It
Yeah.
was all painted.
But it was like really bright, and it was like, I don't know. I remember just catching the
The
tail
elephant
end
It
of
might
show?
have been, yeah, like right after.
It was like, yeah, it was like a little bit after my time, but I still caught it when it wasn't taboo to watch cartoons.
Wasn't the elephant show on right after Eureka's Castle?
the Skinnamarink Dinky Dink.
Yeah.
Skadarinky-dink-a-dink, skadarinky-doo.
I loved that.
My mom
show,
and I
too.
still sing
I
that
would
song.
watch
That's a good
that in a
song.
heart. Does anyone have a kid I could borrow? Because that's the only
I don't
way.
need a
I
kid to
ask
watch
that
that
question
show.
every day.
You don't need a kid
and-
to watch the show.
Yeah.
Skinnamarink Dinky Dink. Go, Trisha.
Oh, we gotta answer Transformers. What would you transform into?
Oh.
Lazy couch.
Well,
Oh,
I
a
couch. Can I transform into a Gundam? Because I just like go
Yeah,
from
you
one
have to.
giant robot into another giant robot.
Speaking of that, show off your mug.
Oh yeah, look, check out my new Gundam mug, you guys.
pretty cool.
This super sweet guy named Frank Ware sent it in. Thank you, all the way from Japan, from Akihabara. Yeah,
Yay!
exciting.
Make it
And
like
that's why
that.
it's so small, because it's from Japan.
They drink less than we large American
It really is. You can fit inside him.
Even, and I have a small mug today, I would
This is
consider,
so-
and it's still much larger.
I feel great in it, though. I feel normal.
It's, yeah,
For
you feel
once.
like a regular
Because
human
we're all
being.
tiny
Right?
people.
I know.
It's true.
It's a tiny mug for
What would
tiny
you
people.
transform into?
I mean, they said jet car or anything, but I mean,
Animal?
really, we
Did they
could
give
do
you
anything.
options?
I
I said
wouldn't
couch.
transform
Sorry.
into an animal.
No,
but
why
like-
would you?
No.
Yeah, you hate
You want the power of
animals.
A
seat.
jet is way cooler. I think probably a jet. Because then I could fly, I could get places
get it.
really fast, I could shoot stuff with like huge explosives. It'd be
Can I
pretty cool.
transform into Wonder Woman's jet? Become
The
invisible?
invisible jet?
That's
Again,
cool too.
You guys still depend on fuel. I'm just letting you know. Couch?
What if I'm a
But you
solar
can't
powered
go
jet?
anywhere.
You know?
Solar powered. I mean, I can't fly in the rain, but.
Solar
No, it's like you store
And
energy.
come a cloudburst.
And
it's
you're
like,
like, oh shit!
It's not. That's not how solar power works, Trisha.
I know. Trust me.
In the
Yes, it charges the lithium-ion battery, which then lasts.
No,
through-
I really want to see
understand.
Trisha do a keynote on solar power and just be like,
If it's rainy,
Solar
it doesn't
power.
work.
the sun. We all love it.
How about I just build the jet out of wax? So as
Perfect.
long as I don't fly
you're
too
Icarus.
close to the sun.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
Icarus. You're
I've learned that
100%
lesson. That's fine. All right, here we go.
You've learned it like you had your wax wings.
I did. It was a long fall. Henry at I'm a Believer 513 says 90s rap.
Oh my
Hashtag
God,
table talk.
yes! I
I was-
listened to Tupac this morning.
This morning.
How do you want it?
He's still alive,
How do
everybody.
you want it?
He's still alive. I was actually saying earlier that Sir Mix-a-Lot probably did the most for body female issues out of any
Can you
rapper
name one
out
other
there.
Sir
Is that
Mix-a-Lot?
the I like?
Yeah. No, I don't think I need to.
No,
I
you
don't
can't.
think I need to. I don't think, because again,
That's
I was saying,
the song you're referring
honestly,
to.
yeah.
Right. I'm
And
just saying.
honestly, as a
That's
young
funny.
girl, 36, 24, 36, yeah, if you're 5'3", I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks. Like, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. Thanks a lot. Because, thanks.
And I gotta say, what is it, 36, 24, 36 if you're 5'3"? Oh, I can't even imagine what that would look like for real.
Here's the thing.
Because you'd probably die if those were your
organs.
Yeah.
Your poor precious. I don't
It
know,
just
I think
made me
it'd be
realize
okay.
how pear-shaped I was. Because it's like, I had
yeah.
36 on the bottom, but
Yeah.
not up top.
No, it's a real. But he did a great job. Thank you, feminists.
What about other 90s rap? Anyone else? You don't really like rap.
I never got into rap music because I couldn't understand it.
I thought you were
Even
gonna say
if I
your
can't
parents were
understand it.
Especially
90s rap is
Okay,
totally
give me
like,
some examples of 90s rap then.
Tupac
Help me out
was a
here.
fantastic example of
What did
90s
Tupac
rap.
do?
You
gotta help me
it was
here.
Just, no, that
Look
was
at my
Biggie.
eyes right
I know,
now.
yeah.
I will take you in my car and we will have a
I don't
session.
want this session. I just need to...
California love.
That's him and Dr. Dre.
The only lyrics I understood in that song were California
No,
Love.
yes, you can understand.
I have a problem in my brain, I
Poor
think.
Trisha. I wonder if any. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
That's honestly how I feel.
No
when I listen
habla
to a lot
rap
of it.
game. I don't get that.
That's how I feel.
Remember when we did that political?
I wanna like
the political commercial where we pretended to be like white
Yeah.
ladies. That's Trisha.
She's like, I don't know.
I don't know what this is.
I grew up in like farmland, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
we
in all
don't
fairness-
have exciting hip things there.
I'm gonna
I can
guarantee-
Texas two-step better than most of y'all out
Oh,
there.
oh my God, really? Because I can
Yes.
too. Let's do it.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is where I come from. I'm open to it though. So teach me. Teach me your 90s
We'll
rap
teach
ways,
you.
ladies.
I'm okay with not. I mean, you're not missing out.
I really.
You think I am missing
I
out?
think you do.
think
I
you
love,
do.
but I love 90s music, like Ace of Base.
Oh, I love
yeah.
Ace of Base.
Real McCoy.
That was my first CD.
Casey and JoJo.
Wore that out.
Baby, baby,
All
baby,
my
baby,
life.
baby. Got that last week on my iPod.
I remember that song.
That's
Remember?
Casey and JoJo.
I remember it because they did
That's
this
like R&B.
constantly.
You like R&B though, like Boys to Men. You would
See,
like.
I think that I think I can be okay with that.
Mm.
Just anything that sounds like I could be saying mean things and I'm talking really
No
fast.
Snoop Dogg, no Coolio, no NWA.
Yeah.
Take it all the way back. Take a
I mean,
fantastic
actually-
voyage.
You're a real badass too. I feel like it would probably be an anthem for you.
You think all of a sudden I'm gonna
Yeah.
become this rock person walking around
Yeah.
the office?
Yeah, 100%. Going in. All right.
I wish I liked it. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you guys think is the best TV show of all time?
Oh, of all time.
That's really difficult.
Game of Thrones.
No, it's good though.
I really
It's
like
great.
it.
It's
I
great.
like it.
I don't know. Of all time,
Of all time.
I'm gonna have to go, and I'm gonna get crapped on for this. I'm gonna have to go Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Really?
Because it is the only show I could literally sit down for 48 hours at a time and just watch straight through, and I'd be fine not eating or sleeping or anything because I'm just in my Buffy bliss.
I will say this. I know I'm gonna get more crap than you will for Buffy because people do like Buffy. Friends is an infallible show. You
No,
can
Friends
watch
is good.
Friends.
She's right.
Like I got the season
Yeah.
DVDs, and while I was making my costumes for Comic-Con last year, all I did was watch.
I feel like that
It's
show hasn't
still-
aged at
No,
all.
that's what I'm
It's
saying. It's
still
hilarious. Up.
hilarious.
Hilarious. It's I think you're gonna have to go like, what are the implications of all time? Like, are we going integrity? Are we going like, how much like
Ooh.
the long lasting? What's in syndication? Like, are we going storyline, plot line? Are we going best finale? Are we going?
Don't overthink
you know
it,
what I mean?
Spaz. What do you think your favorite show of all time
Seinfeld.
is?
Sorry, fucking Seinfeld.
all right.
It's
Seinfeld.
incredibly good writing.
We would make
I
a
would
great
also,
evening block of television.
Yes, I would. Friends and Seinfeld. I
And
agree
Buffy.
with Friends.
No, is that
No.
not in the evening?
I was into Buffy, but again, I understand that like my mother was lost when it came to Buffy.
Oh.
Hold on, wait. So what? Like she couldn't sit down.
I remember
I do
calling
know.
and watch
I do
that.
know Once More with Feeling.
enjoy
I've
it.
seen a
Once
few
More with
select
Feeling.
episodes.
My history teacher, who was also my debate coach, was way into Buffy, and I remember calling her, like, crying, and she was crying. We're like, and that angel just fell through the vortex, and oh my god, that was my high school
Did Buffy
experience.
die?
Did you ever call your history teacher?
Yeah, no. I do feel like I did have an
I
English
applaud you.
professor that I thought was
I
cute,
wish.
but I
Oh,
never
really?
called
I had an
her.
English professor that I thought was cute too.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams. He looked like.
No, we
Don
talked about
Draper.
Mr. Williams was my history professor. That was cute.
Don
It's a hot
Draper.
teacher name, Mr. Williams.
At Philip Thatcher says, where do you think the U.S. will be in 10 or 20 years' time, economically, culturally, and any other way? I think we're going to be,
To be honest, 10 to 20 years isn't like massive.
Wow.
Space
Enough
cars.
stuff to change.
Yeah, I want space cars for sure.
space cars for sure.
I don't know. I think like I think we're pushing more towards like actually labeling GMO stuff. So economically, that will change.
Maybe we'll be
stuff.
a little healthier.
Yeah,
that'd
we'll
be
a
nice.
little
Maybe
bit.
people
rocking-
will have health insurance.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that would be
Really
amazing.
That'd be nice too.
Amazing.
Small steps, kids.
Maybe we'll be wearing Nehru-necked, shirts.
Yeah.
Tunics with Nehru necks.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Maybe we'll get to have sex the way that the coneheads do with the rings.
You really don't want to touch people. Like you.
Oh,
just,
that's not true.
That's
That is
not
not
true.
true.
That
my
is
friend.
not
Thing
true.
that the
That is
coneheads
not
do.
That is
True.
not true. This one has a journal.
Well,
that is not true.
This one doesn't have
She
a
wants
journal.
to touch. She wants to touch. She also wants to explore the conehead way of sex.
I do. I think the more ways of sex, the merrier. I just said that. Yep.
Yep, that's the biography title now.
Hey, Mrs. Hirschberger, how you doing? You gonna call Trisha now?
No, don't talk to my mom. Hi, Mom.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she's watching.
All right, one quick one. Let's do it real fast, guys. Keola Sheridan says, ever been in a fist fight? Hashtag table talk. Go.
No, I haven't. But the only time that I almost was this crazy girl named Tiffany Vasquez. You know who you are. Anyways, she fought everyone. She was that girl that, why? Why do you fight everyone? She also always would bare her midriff, and it wasn't a good idea. And so she would, literally one day she decided to come up and she was like, I'm going to fight Lee. No freaking clue why. I have no idea why. The good news about it is that someone else behind me was like, you're not going to fight Lee. I'm going to fight you if you fight Lee. And she was huge.
Wow.
Nice.
And like, I never got in a fist fight, but the one time I almost did, this girl Jillian was like, let's go. And I was like, oh, like, I had a
Nice.
huge friend for a day. Jillian was not my friend. She wasn't my friend, but for that day.
For that
'cause
day,
she wanted
Jillian
to
was
fight
your
friend.
good friend.
She was
Best
my
friend.
good friend.
No, I've never been in a fist fight, but I love UFC, and I know how to use 12 to 6 elbows, which are illegal in the octagon, but not in the real world, right? And how to put people in an arm bar and an ankle lock, so fucking bring it.
See, you gotta
I
be
will smash your face in.
you gotta be careful with that because I almost got into a fist fight with this kid that was mean to my friend. I was younger. I was like, I don't know, maybe 10, 11. Almost got into a fight with my friend, hurt her feelings, made her cry. I was pissed. And so I thought, I've watched enough cartoons. I've watched enough fighting.
There's
I'm
a
gonna
difference
be real good
between
at this.
cartoons and men actually fighting.
See, no. You think you know your hi-yas and your... You think you know, and so...
I wouldn't say. Well,
How
I
did it
would
work
say.
out?
No. I would say it's not. I see the face shake. I would say I've actually done the. Here's how I actually put your arm in an arm
So you
bar.
practiced. Yeah, I just
What's
thought
an
I
arm
was
bar?
I did.
It's where you have like your legs spread across them and you pull their arm back and it'll break your. I can't do it. You have to be laying on the ground. But I
No,
can break
please
your
no
arm.
hurting here.
Win.
Please no hurting here. Win. Yes. But no, I was trying to be all defendy, and I thought I had done enough research in my extensive cartoon watching. So I went up. It was a boy, and I went up to this boy.
Hirschberger.
He made my female friend cry. That is not cool, stupid boy. And so yeah, so I went up to him and I tried to fight him, and it didn't work out very well for me.
I could just see baby.
It didn't help that I was also like a foot shorter than everybody else my age, and this kid was like, so I probably came up to hear him, and I was like, I'm gonna get you. I know, and I think I tried to like spin kick him, and I might have even said hi-ya. And what ended up happening was he grabbed my foot and like spun it, so I just ended up falling on the ground, and then I was crying too.
Did he?
Hold on.
It was horrible.
Walker Texas Rangered you.
It sucked. I tried to spin kick him, which is way cooler.
Trish,
He
you know
Walker
how like
Texas
I
Rangered
can't.
you.
You know how I can't watch shows that are awkward. I can't even hear that story because it's so awkward. It makes me feel bad on my insides. I did.
I tried to
quickly-
double.
Okay,
I
baby,
tried to
shoot.
double dragon kick him, and it didn't work.
No, it's all coming back,
You
guys.
did remind me though. In 6th grade, I did see a friend of mine. My best friend was like wrestling with this guy, and I thought they were fighting. And he was down on the ground, so I kicked him in the ear. And then they were play fighting, and I didn't know. But then we dated for like 4 years after that, and
So
that's how
there-
we met.
There you have it. Kick him in the ear, ladies. That's how you get a good man. Well, no, go to get pho by yourself.
Yes.
And then kick him in the ear.
Yeah.
Well,
It's perfect.
some
But it
guys
has a
like
face.
that.
It's perfect.
Well, thanks for joining us on Table Talk. Keep sending in your topics, hashtag Table Talk, r/SourceFed, and make sure to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel.
Yay!
I'm McTurney.
I'm Lee Newton.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I just really feel like some guys like being kicked in the ear.